All right, well, welcome back to Exhaust Sports Auto. My name is Kevin, and you are here to witness this 2021 Toyota Tundra SR5 with the TRD off-road package on it, 4x4 of course. So it's actually my father's truck. He finally took delivery of it. He actually traded in his 2010 Tundra double cab 4x2 actually with the 4.6 liter V8 for this vehicle. And we actually picked it up ourselves at Pennsylvania because if we try to buy one here in North Carolina, well, we would have been annihilated on the price. So I actually just did a review on the 2021 1794 Tundra. We had that for a week. It was a press car. And we also did a review on a 2020 Tundra, which is exactly the same vehicle as this. And I went to a lot of details on that vehicle. But again, I'll cover a few things. I'll try to discuss some other truck ownership things in this video, basically a few other perspectives I never really had the chance to elaborate on in my other reviews. And let's just get started here by just flooring it. Excellent. 5.7, really the way to go with these trucks. But before we talk about that, let's just first of all, let's go through a few preface items here, talk about the exterior and about some of the other trucks actually, because, well, I mentioned this in my 1794 review, but I love all the trucks, man. My father does too, and this is actually his personal daily driver. I'm just reviewing it today for you guys because, well, he was also open to the other trucks like I mentioned in my other reviews. When it just comes time for us to put our money where our mouth is, this is just the option that we end up going with every single time. It's just the default choice. It's the choice with the least amount of compromises. I love the Ram. I love the F-150. I should have worn my Shelby hat, but whatever, forgot to. And I even like the Silverado. I think the Silverado is trying to be like that more value-packed truck. Gives you a lot of the options that most people want at a lower price point. Like, it's just a nice package, basically. Something like a Trail Boss Silverado is nice. But me personally, I find value with the Silverado when you get the 6.2 liter V8. But I really respect the hell out of Chevy for giving you two V8 options and then some miscellaneous BS engine options, whatever. But they give you options, and I respect that. But I love all the trucks. You're going to be happy with any of these choices. But for some reason, the truck community, it's almost as bad as like the, the Euro car / spec sheet enthusiasts out there. There was this man, a grown-ass man. He claims to own a Ford Raptor, okay? And he was upset with me for not mentioning the resale value of the Raptor being one of the best in the industry. Dude, I'm doing reviews on $45,000 trucks, and you expect me to cover a $75,000 like one-off Raptor? Like, what is wrong with you? It's just going through like this big spiel, and he's trying to like convince me like, we made the bad choice here. It's just like, I don't understand why some of these truck fanatics are trying to convince other people, other reviewers about what's the best one. Like, if you're convinced, if you made your choice, you like your choice, be content with it. Like I mentioned, all of them are great, okay? You're not going wrong with any of them, all right? But that's just not enough for some of these people. I feel like if you make enough money, afford a $75,000 pickup truck. I mean, the guy could be lying. For all I know, he could be lying. It is the internet. But let's just take his word for it. Let's just say he does own this Raptor. I mean, like, why are you going out of your way, typing up like these Bibles, these essays to in the YouTube comment section to convince other people? It just doesn't make any sense to me. But all right, test drive them all yourselves. I don't know what to tell you. Choose whichever brand you like the most. But like I mentioned in my other reviews, okay, there is something strangely satisfying about driving the piss out of this Tundra. I think that's mostly... All right, let's just calm down there, all right? Nobody can hear me, but anyway. I mentioned this in my other reviews. What makes this strangely satisfying is because this is still like an old school truck. However, they have done a great job tuning all of this stuff with more antiquated components, essentially. The best comparison I can make is like the Lexus LS 430. It's very satisfying to drive that Lexus today because it does utilize more antiquated components, but it is smooth as hell. It is just as smooth as a lot of the newer luxury cars today, but it goes about that by using a naturally aspirated V8. There's no hybridization there. There's no like electric steering rack or anything like that. Everything is smooth in a mechanical way, and that's exactly how this Tundra is. I like the other trucks, you know. Does this vehicle ride as well as a Ram? No. Does it handle as well as an F-150? I don't think so. Is this value packed with options like the Silverado? No. But what it is it's a good compromise between all of these vehicles, okay? It rides well enough, especially with this TRD off-road package with the 18-inch wheels. And it handles just as good as you need to. I think the body control is excellent for a vehicle of this size and weight, about 5,700 pounds. And out of the highway here, very refined experience, okay? Smooth, the power delivery is smooth. The wind noise isn't ridiculous, the tire noise isn't ridiculous, and that has a lot to do with these OEM tire choices that Toyota always uses. These all-terrain Michelin LTX tires, all right? Which many people scoff at, and I completely respect the hell out of Toyota for utilizing a more appropriate street tire like this. Even though it's an all-terrain tire, it behaves a lot like an all-season, and that's what leads this vehicle to ride this well and to be this quiet even out on the highway. And yeah, there's a little bit of a wind buffeting effect, you know, at the higher speeds, and that's normal for just about any vehicle, even luxury cars actually. This vehicle, I forgive it because it's a pickup truck. They're all going to have some level of kind of wind noise because, well, they ride so high, right? I do appreciate the handling of this vehicle. Like I mentioned, strangely satisfying to drive, to daily drive. I don't even like pickup trucks. This is not my most favorite genre of vehicle. I hate pickups. This is my father's vehicle. This is what he uses for work and what he uses to haul all of his things. I'm just reviewing it for you because, well, I'm a car reviewer. That's what I do. And I give all vehicles a fair chance and a pragmatic approach to all of these vehicles. Me personally, you know, for this type of money, you know, I'm going to be whipping big certified pre-owned S-Class, big Lexus, big Jaguar F-Types, you know what I'm saying? Real cars, you know what I'm saying? I will say, I will give the off-road community some credit. They actually do take these vehicles off-roading more so than these spec sheet / supercar bros who just, you know, drive them at the street, you know, 15 miles an hour under the speed limit. I don't find too much pleasure in, you know, taking a pickup truck 3 miles per hour over a, you know, like a rock or something like that. Conquering dirt and rocks does not really make me happy. I find more satisfaction driving my LC500 at like, you know, 150 miles an hour. But that's just me. But I will mention some other things. Again, this is a good compromise between all the trucks here. You know, it gives you pretty much everything you want. Satisfaction, great resale value, probably the best resale value amongst these normal trucks without going into Raptor territory, right? Another thing, this is most likely going to be the last V8 truck made by Toyota, potentially, who knows? That seems to be the rumors, right? But I will say, for 2020, I believe, is when this started, they actually stopped offering like a transmission cooler for towing purposes, and this made a lot of people very upset. I mean, yeah, okay, towing wise, this thing tows like 9,800 pounds is a crew max, 10,200 pounds if you got a double cab with rear wheel drive. But the thing that made people upset was without the transmission cooler, I have no idea why Toyota decided to skimp out in this area, but they did. And a lot of people towing these trucks, they found that the transmission temperatures were going up to like 300 degrees. I think Fahrenheit. I hope it wasn't Celsius, but 300 degrees Fahrenheit. But then some owners tried to put these aftermarket transmission coolers into their trucks, and what they noticed was the temperature went down to like 200 degrees to about 175 degrees. So pretty drastic change there. If you're going to be towing this vehicle, if you're going to be using this truck to tow, definitely buy some type of aftermarket transmission cooler. Again, no idea why Toyota decided to skimp out there. And many people that are like, oh, well, the Tundra is abysmal for towing the other trucks. And it's true. I mean, like the F-150, all the other American trucks, their max towing rate is like about 1 ton more than the Tundra. That's impressive, no doubt about that. That's quite a lot. I just feel like if you're serious about towing, you'd be getting like a heavy duty truck. And I think that's where the magic of a American / domestic trucks comes into play with their heavy duty trucks. And you get a nice heavy duty 6.2 liter, something like that, for $55,000, right? I think that's kind of the way to go with some of these American trucks, because otherwise, you know, towing wise, I mean, what the hell are you towing? Like a shitty little tracker bass boat or something like that? You can do that with like a family sedan, you know, little tiny ass boat, you know what I'm saying? You don't need a pickup truck to tow that, but you know, I get it. That's the main reason why people buy these trucks to do. They buy like these overkill trucks to do like mundane tasks, but whatever. Just something to keep in mind with the Tundras and their towing. Get that transmission cooler or whatever else that you need to make this a more efficient hauler, right? But we don't tow. We never do anything like that, so we never really cared. But other things, you know, I get great confidence in the stopping power of this vehicle. And I think it rides well enough. Some people with 2019 trucks were complaining that their truck doesn't really ride that great. Yeah, for 2020, that was a much better year for the Tundra. Despite them, you know, getting rid of the transmission cooler, they actually did make some refinement enhancements with their high-speed stability out on the highway, with the ride quality, all these things. So the 2020 trucks and up, they are just a much better street truck basically because of that. 2021, you got the new Trail Edition basically. We had the option of getting an Army green truck with the Trail Edition, but we didn't want that. We wanted the TRD off-road. We like the way this vehicle handles and the way that this vehicle rides. So we skipped the Trail Edition, but that's something new for 2021. And to get like these little boxes in the truck bed, basically, that was just taking up too much space. We didn't want to deal with that, but it might work out for you. And we got some new color choices like the wind chill pearl that we saw in the 1794 that I reviewed. So a few little updates for 2021, but most importantly, I think this will retain its resale value extremely well. Like even 2018 trucks, exact same spec as this with like 30,000 miles, go for like $43,000. MSRP on this truck is like $48,000. So 3 years later, 30,000 miles, I mean, it's only lost like $5,000. So, you know, that's one of the best thing. Tundra owners can like switch in and out of these trucks like every year if they want to. You know what I'm saying? So depreciation is hardly an issue here. The other reason why we really like the TRD off-road package is because, you know, I was driving this vehicle out on the highway, and one of the main things is, compared to the 1794 I drove with the 20-inch wheels, there's a lot less play in the steering of this particular truck than there was with the 20-inch setup on the 1794, which did not have the TRD off-road. So something about the way they calibrate the suspension also translates into a better steering response. So something I noticed, it's still not as tight as some of the American counterparts, but it's very close now. So that's what I'm saying. Again, once again, the least amount of compromises. Usually when you have larger wheels like that and less sidewall, the steering response should be better, but it wasn't. So the suspension is definitely the way to go, TRD off-road. That's why we skipped out on that glorious, you know, army green color with the Trail Edition package. We had to get this TRD off-road. So with that established, let's go ahead and let's briefly talk about this interior. Not going to spend too much time on this, and we'll end off with the conclusion. So I'll see you there. Okay, real quick, let's go ahead and let's go over this interior. Again, going to be very brief here. So one thing that always bugs me with a lot of these reviewers is they always say that the interior of these Tundras is antiquated, it's too old, it's old-fashioned, whatever the hell it is. I mean, this is one of my more favorite truck interiors, alongside the Ram, of course, and the Nissan Titan. Actually, I really like that interior as well, but I like this because it's simple, it's clean, it's crisp, and most importantly, it is solid. And I talked about all this stuff in the 1794 review. So again, please do watch that. I'm going to leave a link down to that and the 2020 review I did. This truck keeps getting criticized and ridiculed for being 15 years old or whatever, yet something like a Porsche 911 is praised for being like 50 years old. So I'm loving the hypocrisy here. You know, it's I just don't get it here. I mean, make up your mind what you want here, but me personally, I do like this interior space. It works well. It's got Apple CarPlay, it's got Android Auto built in, it's an 8-inch screen. This is the SR5 upgrade package. It's also got the TRD off-road package. That also gets you a few other options as well. You know, read up on that. Gauge cluster is simple. Everything about this is easy to use. I hate the stupid chrome that they're using in the interior here. I mean, in super bright sunlight, it absolutely just blinds me. It's very dumb, but whatever. Plethora of space, nothing to worry about here. No sunroof here. That could help with the rigidity of its driving capabilities, but whatever. I mean, it's not really super noticeable. I prefer not having a sunroof in a vehicle, so I mean, it's a pro for me, but maybe not for you. Seats in this vehicle are actually not that comfortable. I don't really like these cloth seats. I can maybe do 2 hours in this truck before I get uncomfortable again. Driving back from Pennsylvania, that was like a 7-8 hour drive. Yeah, it was really just, my pelvis griddle was just so inflamed. It was just not good. So something I noticed between these cloth seats and the cloth seats we have in our 2010 Tundra, our 2010 Tundra seems to have softer seats on it, basically. So something I noticed. You do have automatic headlights here. You got one-touch auto windows just for the driver's side, but it doesn't go up one touch. Just kind of dumb, but whatever. You have automatic high beams. You got a few safety features here, like a backup camera, which does not, the lines don't turn when you turn the steering wheel. You do have a lane keep assist. You do have collision prevention here, so it will actually warn you, and I think it will actually stop itself when you get too close to a vehicle and if you're not going to brake in time. So you do have that here as well. If you want to get blind spot monitoring, you have to get the Convenience Plus package, which we do not have. So we also got like the 38-gallon fuel tank, which is nice. We average, when I drive, I get about like 11 mpg. When my dad drives, he gets about 13 mpg. So there you go. We'll just call it 12 mpg. And driving aggressively with these pickup trucks, that's about what you can expect in any of these trucks. So something to keep in mind. Oh, and we absolutely love the push button start. I really didn't think that I would love that feature, but I actually do. I was always under the impression that, oh, just put a key in there, it's not a big deal. But honestly, just having the key in your pocket, getting in and out of the vehicle with the keyless entry, and then just pushing that button is actually very convenient instead of fumbling with the key. So love that we have the push button start now with this truck. I think they added that for the 2020 model year, so something to keep in mind. Rear seats, do I even have to talk about it? It's like a studio apartment back there, very large. The bed space though, okay, yeah, we have the Lomax cover on there. We got a little tonneau cover thing. By the way, best tonneau cover ever. Definitely worth like $1,000 or whatever we paid for that. Definitely the best. Water hardly gets in there. If you want me to do a separate review on that Lomax cover, I can, and the reasons why we chose it. But I'll just show you right now the 1794 truck bed, because it's the exact same bed that we have, spray and bed liner, all that stuff. Our bed is just full of stuff. You can't see anything in there, so I'll just show you the 1794 bed. The Tundra is great. We like driving this vehicle. Don't let the other reviewers fool you into thinking it's some antiquated 1,000-year-old truck. It's not. It's a Japanese company. They continue to make Kaizen mentality changes, like incremental changes every year to make this vehicle better every single year, aside from the transmission cooling thing, which is very strange to me. This is leaps and bounds ahead of the 2010 Tundra that we own. Like, the gap between this truck and our 2010 truck is like the distance between heaven and earth. It's just not even the same playing field, honestly. It's just so much more different. It's just so much more different. The drivetrain is so much better to react here. It's so immediate. It's so crispy. We really appreciate that. And the comfort has been enhanced. Stability has been enhanced. Everything about this truck is just way more satisfying to drive. So something we noticed. Now, the other trucks, like I mentioned, go for it if you like them. If you think you can utilize that extra 1 ton of towing capacity, or if you like the features or whatever the hell you like, the comfort, the refinement in some of those other trucks, go for it. Absolutely. You're not going wrong with it. However, I will say, please lease something like the Ram or the other trucks, because I have heard some reliability concerns. You know, F-150 owners, their transmissions keep going out after like 2,000 miles. Everybody has a different, experience in terms of reliability with their trucks. Tundras, I've noticed that the wheel bearing costs a lot of money to replace, because it's like the solid axle thing. The whole axle needs to come out to do a simple wheel bearing replacement. So, stupid stuff. Usually you don't have to worry about that till like 100K miles, but it could be different for everybody. That's the other thing. Reliability is very different for everybody. So lease it first and then keep it afterwards if you think it's working out for you. Everybody's very passionate about their trucks. It's a big deal to them. I don't like mentioning these statistics, but it's just so true. I have to mention it. But, half of America doesn't even have $5,000 to their name, or $1,000. I don't know. It's either one of those two. Look up the statistic for yourself. It's either half of America doesn't have $5,000 to their name or $1,000 to their name. Something insane like that. But we have like $1.4 trillion of open car loans in America. So that's the thing. Cars are the highest. Most people rent their homes, I guess, right? It's like 50-50, right? People rent and own their homes. So technically the car is one of the biggest assets that a person is going to have. So people take huge pride in their vehicles. They signed the papers for a 35% interest rate, right? but they're so proud of their truck because they have so much money invested into this. They have their life, they have their soul attached to this vehicle now because it's their everything now. They signed the papers, 35% interest rate. They don't have a choice. They have to love their truck, and they're very passionate about it. So if you say anything bad about any of these vehicles, people get very pissy. So if you want to get into the YouTube game, you want to make your own little car videos, don't do reviews, okay? Don't say anything bad about anything. Don't make objective reviews. Just do like B-roll compilation bullshit. Like just do exterior, interior stuff. Just do that and don't say anything. Just put some nice, pretty music behind the background and make videos like that. Because all you're going to be doing with the review is upsetting everybody. Okay, everybody's too pissy. Everybody's too prideful. They got too much money on the line with their vehicles. Way too many loans, high interest rates out there. You know, you can't just say anything bad about their baby. You know, it doesn't matter if they're a 45-year-old grown man. They just can't take it, basically, like that supposed Raptor owner. So, there you go. I don't know what else to say. Have fun with your trucks. Buy any of them. They're all cool. They're all great. So, have fun with that. Thank you again for watching. Take care and goodbye.